What's up, Mavericks? This is Erica, writer and editor over here at Merchant Maverick. For today's QuickBooks Online tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up recurring invoices. This is a good option if you offer subscriptions, memberships, ongoing services, things like that, and don't want to manually send an invoice for these recurring payments. So I'm jumping in with the QuickBooks Online test drive, and I recommend you do the same so you can get the hang of this before you mess around with your own account. So let's just dive right in. So we're going to start off on the main QuickBooks dashboard, and we're going to go to this side menu and we're going to hover over sales, and invoices is going to pop up. Now you can click this little icon and make sure that it's highlighted, and then it'll show up right in your bookmarks. It's making it easy to find. If you invoice a lot, I recommend doing that just so you can go right here in the side menu and click right on invoices and get to this screen. So the first step to setting up a recurring invoice is to go down here to the bottom right of your screen and click on Create Invoice. That's going to bring you into an invoice. We're going to focus over here on the right side of the screen. Now, if this does not appear, you can simply go up here to the top right, see the gear icon that says Manage, click on that, and you'll get these options. Now, you're going to see a bunch of options, but we're going to go down to the fourth at the bottom. That's scheduling. We're going to click, and you'll see that the first field is recurring invoice, make invoice recurring, and just toggle that on. It's going to now bring you to recurring settings. So the first field is template name. You can name this after the service that the client is getting. You can name it the client. Whatever your process is, go ahead and do that. We're just going to put invoices recurring. The next field that you're going to see is type. So it starts at scheduled. So this is what you basically think of when you think of a recurring invoice. So it's a regularly scheduled invoice going to the same customer for the same. John Smith is paying $100 every month. That's a scheduled invoice. But if you click on the drop down, there's a few other options. Now we have reminder. So if you have a customer that, let's say, they pay $100 every month, but every third month they add on additional services and they pay $150. Well, sending the $100 invoice or sending additional invoices, you can just simply click reminder. Now you will have to go in and manually enter the information, but it does provide the reminder that you need to send the invoice to the client. So this is good. Think of like utility companies, phone bills, things like that, that the amount is not necessarily the same from month to month. That's when you would use reminder. And unscheduled, if you click on that, it says that unscheduled transactions don't have timetables. You just use them as needed. So if you have a customer that maybe gets billed every 4 months, things like that, you want to set up the template, you'll do unscheduled. Now, when it is time to send the invoice, you will need to go manually enter in all of the information and send it out. But we're going to go with the traditional recurring invoice, so we're going to go to scheduled. So the next field is to create number of days in advance. So how many days in advance do you want to create this invoice? So we're just going to go with 10. Then below that, you're going to see template options. So you have the option to toggle on to automatically send emails, include unbilled charges, or to mark as print later. You can turn these on or off based on your policies. We're going to just leave all of them off and just focus on the basics. So the next section that you see is interval, and this says that this invoice is going to repeat on the first day of every month. You can see here the start date. So we will click on this, and once we click on this, it says, because we're sending it on the first of every month, and that's what we have it set as, the next invoice will first. But you can scroll down, and we're going to, well, we'll look next at end. Okay, so the end is when you want this to end. If this is going to be just recurring until the customer can't, never. If this is going to be something that maybe goes through the end of the year, you can do by, so it would end by January 1st, 2026. Or after. So if you click on that, let's say you want to pay for your services for the next 6 months and you're billing them monthly, you would just put under number of occurrences 6. So after 6 invoices, after 6 months, this would end. But we're just for now. And then below that, you're going to be able to change. Remember up here, it said repeats on the first day of every 1 month. So this is where you can change that. So when you click on the drop down under repeat, you can go daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. So if you change that, so for example, daily, you can send it every day. If you want to send it every 15 days, just under every number of days, change that to 15. Same thing with weekly. It's set to every week. But if you want to do every 2 weeks, under every number of weeks, just put 2. Stick with the monthly for 1 month. So below that, this indicates when the invoice is going to be sent. We have it on the first day of the month, but you can click on this first field and you can set it to the second Thursday of every month, the last Friday of every month. Again, whatever cadence you've agreed to with your customer. And then, of course, you can click on day and it goes from the first to the last in between. So we are just going to keep this monthly, start November 1st, never going to end. So now we're going to go over here to the left side of the screen and we're going to complete this information. Now you can also just save the template if you want, but Amy's Bird Sanctuary is starting to receive services from us that she's going to be billed monthly for. So we're going to go ahead and click in that. And of course, if you don't have a customer set up, you can go in and edit, create customers, whatever you need to do, make sure that everything is accurate there. And we'll just say she's going to get custom design from us. All of this is filled in based on information that was already input earlier. Make sure everything is accurate. You can go down here, add payment options, update your note, do whatever you can do in a standard invoice. We're just going to leave all of that alone. Okay, so let's assume that we have a customer that is already paying us monthly for services and we've just been manually sending invoices. So if you want to change that, so let's look at our current invoices. And let's say that this second item here, Cookies by Kathy, the $75 invoice, let's assume that we charge Cookies by Kathy $75 every month, but we do this manually. But we want to set this up to a recurring invoice so we don't have to worry about it. We're going to click on Cookies by Kathy and it's going to pull up this invoice. And ignore all these dates and everything. Sometimes, I'm just kind of showing off how to do these things and how the software works. So the dates may be off, amounts may be off, things like that. It's just for instructional purposes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and we're going to go to Edit Invoice. Now, once we get there, as you can see, we have this little side menu popped up. Again, if that's not popped up, go up here to the top right, click Manage the gear icon. And then you can go down here to, it's not the last one anymore, it's the one before last, go to Scheduling. You can click on Make Invoice Recurring, and you'll see it already created the template name as Cookies by Kathy. Go through, check everything off. This one already is set to automatically send emails, repeats on the first day of every month, on September 1st, monthly. You can go in and change all of this. Now, once you have everything the way you want it, you can also look over here at the invoice, just make sure the address, the service or product, everything is the way you want it to be, and you're going to go and you're going to save the template. Now, once you do that, you may look at this screen and say, oh, okay, well, I can't tell that this is a recurring invoice. We're going to go up here to the gear icon and we're going to go to List. And under List, you'll see All List Products and Services Recurring Transactions. That's what we want. We're going to click on recurring transactions, and there's already a couple of things here. But as you can see, the Cookies by Kathy that we just created is here, shows the next date, shows the customer name, the interval, the amount, You can convert it to a recurring payment, or you can go in here and edit it. The one that we did first, Amy's Bird Sanctuary, is also here every month starting on September 1st. Amount, everything. So that is how you're going to keep up with your recurring transactions. So that is it as far as how to set up recurring invoices. As you can see, it's really super easy to use. But again, I do recommend that you go in and you use the QuickBooks Online test drive. You don't have to sign up. It doesn't cost you a thing. And you can go in here and you can play around without messing with your real data. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions about setting up recurring invoices, or if you have any other questions about QuickBooks Online. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time, Mavericks.